I basically wrote it in 2 sessions.
Okay,
And
wait. You're telling me you wrote the whole song just by meeting your producer 2 times in two
yes,
sessions?
yes.
No way, really?
Some songs, it's so crazy how life works and just how creativity works because sometimes it takes me hours upon hours and days and like being like, I don't know what to write, put it down, maybe try again.
Okay. Let's do this again. I'm waiting for Kayshawn. Guess there was something with the video connection. Let's just see. If you have any question, let us know down below. And Kayshawn is back. Let's talk about his new single, Eve. Okay, you're back. Hi.
Yeah,
Do you see me now?
yes, we're all good.
Okay, perfect. Hi.
How are you?
I'm amazing. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's been a minute. It's been since when? Like September?
Yes, exactly. Kayshawn, listen. I mean, what happened? You moved into a new apartment. You have a single coming out. You have new tattoos. You have a girlfriend and all of that in less than a year?
Yes, life is crazy. I think it's just been like a whole thing of just kind of new experiences and moving into my first apartment and graduating,
Yes.
getting my first job and all of these like firsts. And it's just been such a cool thing. I'm so grateful.
Yes, and everything less than a year. I mean, the last time we talked was basically in 2020 in winter, I guess. And so much happened.
Oh my gosh, that was the last time. So much has changed.
Yes, exactly. And all of that happened to you in quarantine. I mean, come on. We need all the details. Teach us.
Honestly, it's just about, I think for me, I stayed creative and I stayed just kind of productive when it came to school and studying and just kind of making sure to even text my friends all the time and be social and just kind of keep all those connections and things that I always had with people. And yeah, it just kind of naturally, organically happened with every single step of the way when it comes to what's kind of happened for me. I'm very grateful and blessed. So,
Yes, I love that. And I mean, it is for most people, it was kind of hard to grow during quarantine, you know? And now that you even did this, I mean, come on, Kayshawn, multi-talent. And Eve, what is with Eve? We need to talk about that as well.
oh my goodness. Yes, Eve is my new single. If you haven't heard,
Yes.
stream it is out now. So Eve kind of happened. This was I would say maybe like 3 or 3.5 months ago, and I kind of got the idea in my dorm room. My girlfriend had left for the day, and I had already been to the studio and made a song called "Anybody Else." You're the
Mm-hmm.
first, but there's a single called "Anybody Else," and so I was like, "Oh, that's gonna be the first single." And then I was like, "Wait, let's just go ahead and let's make something else." So I sat down to write, and I got the hook. Even in your silence, you speak to me. Oh, the rush is violent, but it's all I need. There's no more hide and seek. I know my name's not Adam, but I found my Eve, and so that's what I went into.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much. So that's kind of what I took to him, and I think gonna be a ballad. This is what I'm thinking, and he was like, I don't know. I hear a bop. I hear like a really upbeat song, and so we went in the studio. It was just the rest is history. Ian is just such a genius when it comes to, I guess, knowing exactly what I want when I don't know what I want. He was really cool to work with and to make this song.
Yes, what it is now, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. And tell me, how did you go from I feel broken, lost, and hopeless to I know my name's not Adam, but I found my Eve.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, my girlfriend, she's just the best. She's the sweetest girl in the world. We met when I was
Yes.
so it is all everything. Life is just crazy. You know, you go from feeling lonely to then all of a sudden you meet someone and you're like, oh wait, you're my person, and I'm really in love with you. And she's the girl I'm gonna marry. So you know, it was just the type.
Yeah.
It was a thing where it was like, why wait to write these kinds of songs and make it so direct when you can just do that now? And so I was like, okay, well, anybody else is about her, but let's make another song and then make it more direct and then name it after her. So.
Yes. I love that. I mean, the first time I listened to it, I was like, wow. And I have to say, I think your girlfriend is sassy, isn't she? Like you said in your song.
My goodness, she is.
Is she here? I mean, she can hop on the show. We would love to see her if she likes to come in. Her name is Xander, right?
It's Eve.
Oh, her name is Eve?
Yes. So Xander's like for her last name. It's like Alexander.
Oh,
Made it.
okay. Now that is cuteness above. It's her name. I Kayshawn.
Thank you
And
so much.
the last time we talked on the show, you said that, when you are searching for inspiration for your songs and so much more, you like to go on night walks and you like to, sit on the roof and look at the sky and, write down your songs and find inspiration for them. Was it the same thing this time? I think this time it was a little bit different, right? Because it's more poppy and more edgy, the song that you've been working on.
Yes, so definitely. I think, life just kind of happened. Like I said before, I think finding Ian and working with him was all just kind of by happenstance. And so it was just all very organic. But yeah, I think this time around it was about hanging out with my friends so much and kind of visiting so many different places here in Charleston that I love to this day and kind of I don't know, everything felt very happy and summery, and then I met Eve, and she makes me the happiest person in the world, and so I just knew this time around everything was going to be different in terms of the sound, the visual. I was like everything, summer, bright, like poppy, happiness. It was just like I needed something
Yes.
just kind of directly correlated to the way my life was, and kind of like the soundtrack of my life. I wanted to make a song and songs that just very much represented what I'm going through in the current moment.
Yes. And tell me the transition. Like, how did you guys meet, and when did you know that you wanted to write a song about her?
I met Ian. Oh my goodness, when did I meet Ian? So, one of my good friends has a boyfriend, and Ian is the boyfriend's brother. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
follow me. And so, yeah, I think she played his brother my songs, and so his name's Kai. Kai is very cool, and so he was just like, hey, like my brother's a producer, like you guys should work together one day. And so he gave me his Instagram, and I just kind of like DM'd him, I was like, hey man, like I listened to your stuff on Spotify. He's really talented, and so I was like, if you ever want to work, let's do it. And so, a few months later, I kind of hit him back up and I was like, hey, I'm thinking like I have a few ideas. Like, I would love to get in the studio with you. And yeah, the rest is history. We kind of went in and made the first single, and it happened, I think, in maybe like 3 hours. We just
Mm-hmm.
kind of came and we were like, oh, like this is gonna be good. Like we really can work together. And so now we're like making a whole project. And so I'm very he's just so
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's also important to know for most people who is actually the guy behind the song and who produced it, because you guys are great friends. I saw that. And the talent that comes into it is hard, but not everybody kind of knows about it or appreciates the process that goes into it. So, and how did you meet Eve, your girlfriend?
yes, well, I don't know how much I'm gonna give like personally, but she and so it was just kind of
Oh,
like
you
a
don't
thing
have
of
to say
we're all
that if you don't want to.
no, it's all good. No, but she I met
Okay.
her and yeah, we just met through friends and just kind of I think just by meeting her on the first experience, I was just like, this is the girl for me, and there was something about her that was just so amazing to me and just so I don't know, just she was so unique and so cool and just so different, and it was just like that. It was like an out of body experience where you were just like, oh my gosh, like that's the one
You're
for
in
me.
love.
Yeah,
Love
and
at first sight.
I honestly, I was just like, I told my friend in that moment that was next to me, and I was like, I don't know who that girl is, but I want to talk to her. I was like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like such a strong pull just to like sit and talk to her. And look at us, the rest is history. So, it's very important to follow your heart and just to follow like sometimes the impulses that you get. You never know what's gonna happen.
Exactly. Yeah. And when did you know that you wanted to write a song? When did you know that you wanted to write Eve? Where
Mhm.
came that, the idea?
Honestly, I think I didn't know I was gonna write because I hadn't met Ian I think until maybe like February or so, we started kind of talking about, hey, let's get in the studio and things like that. But I was kind of keeping it with an open mind or just going into it with an open mind. And so I did a podcast interview. And I think in the interview, I was like, yeah, I'm going to like talk to this producer and we're going to like meet up just to see what happens. And that was Ian at the time. And so we met and it just was all so cool, and we just really got along. We made the music so quickly, and it just kind of happened so freely, and it was just like, oh my gosh, this is so much fun to work with you. But I had no idea what I was going to make exactly until we started making Anybody Else. And so
Okay.
that song, he played me instrumental, and I heard the beat, and I heard just how summery it was and poppy and upbeat. I was like, okay, we are going somewhere far different from and I was like, you know what? And it's cool because it just so happened to line up with the way I was feeling. Um,
Yes.
So now we're kind of having this whole thing of let's continue this same kind of sonic cohesiveness, and we're going to make 4 or 5 songs, put them together on a project, and put it out later in the year. At least that's the plan.
I love that. I mean, yesterday I have to say I have to be honest, I was listening to Save Your Tears and to Heartbreak Hotel, and the difference between those songs and Eve was major but still the same in a way. So I loved how you transitioned to this kind of pop vibe. I think it suits her so well, the voice that you have.
Thank you so much. It's very different. I think this time it was more talky pop type thing.
Yes.
I really liked it because in the studio it kind of happened just so naturally. I was just like, oh my god, like that's it, that's the hook, that's the way we're gonna sing the verse, and I, okay, this is so different. I was like, I really hope they like it. I really hope they can just like follow me on this journey in this song to like get
Yeah,
to the chorus. And just people have been so amazing and supportive. And
exactly.
my biggest first day with streams, like my biggest first day in history of my music. Really
Yes,
cool. Love
yeah,
it.
that's what I wanted to touch on as well because you obviously hit over 800 streams on Spotify on the first day, is that right?
We got to like 960 something, so close to 1,000,
Wow.
and that was, I think my record was like, I think it was like 600 and something, like in the 80s, 680 or something, and that was with Save Your Love, and so on the first,
Yes.
and so when this happened, I was like, oh my goodness, because we hit like I think 680 at like 2 p.m. and it wasn't even more hours to go, and I was like, what is happening? Uh,
Yeah.
They are just so supportive, and just to anyone who's listened and been so supportive, thank you so much. I'm so grateful, and I'm glad that you like it, honestly.
Yes, I'm so happy for that. I mean, that is absolutely amazing. And this is something that shows us that sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone because you never know what is on the other side. You never tried this kind of pop genre or even talking in your songs, but you see people love it. So, I mean, I love it as well. That's why I wanted to have you on the show, Kayshawn.
Selena, thank you for always having me. I'm so grateful. I love watching all your interviews and seeing you just
Thank you.
people. You do such a good job, and all the questions are amazing. So I'm always like, let's do it, please.
Exactly. You're always welcome. And
Thank
by
you.
the way, Kayshawn, I think in 2020, the transition to 2021, I think there is a new pop star that came into the industry, and I think, I mean, you have to know Olivia Rodrigo.
Yes,
Yes.
I love
I feel like listening to your song kind of reminded me of hers. Is there, kind of a connection between where you got your inspiration from, since all of your, or most of your followers are also Swifties?
Honestly, yes. I wouldn't say it was Olivia that inspired me in the sense of, I was listening to her music and being like, oh, let's like make something in the world of this. I was listening to her album a lot, so maybe it did like kind of influence me. I
Mm-hmm.
think in terms of Eve and Anybody Else and the other songs, I kind of drew inspiration from 1989 by Taylor Swift. I wanted to, that was the album for me that I think just kind of inspired me to become like a pop singer, and I listened to that on repeat. And I was like, okay, I want to make something like 1989. Feels very summery, very much like just I don't know, it just this whole world. And so I was like, I need to make songs just like this, and then put them together on a body of work and create a world that's just like unique in its own self. And definitely, I pulled inspiration from 1989, I would say. And then I don't know, I think Kings of Leon, I kind of started listening to this band, and they just are so cool. I love their music, and so there's a song called "Sex on Fire" that I really loved. And there's just a lot of different things I think that just inspired me, and maybe I kind of like latched onto when I got in the studio,
Mm-hmm.
came out through my own music. But definitely those two are kind of like big inspirations right now.
I love that. Okay, so let us know. Tell us three major favorite singers that you listen to, or your three favorite bands that you listen to. Name us
Um,
three.
yes, okay. So every time I do an interview, someone asks me this question, I'm always like, I want to name just three. Of course, Taylor, though, you already know that. Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Hmm. I really love James Arthur. I love his song September right now. I've really been listening to that a lot.
Okay.
And who else have I been listening to that I've been like, yes, you're killing it. Um, Travis Scott. He's not a singer. He's more of like rapper, but Travis Scott.
Mm,
Sure. He's just a performer, and I love his music. And I've been listening to Astroworld for the past few months as well, just on repeat. So
that's amazing. Yes. kind of this poppy genre. I love that. The inspiration where it comes from and also kind of reflecting it in your own music. And
Yes.
Kayshawn, tell me, I mean, you probably know I'm a huge fan of music videos. When are we getting a music video? Are you working on a music video? Because I'm pretty sure everybody would freak out.
I would love to. If anyone is out there to work, I'm interested. I think for me, it's always about quality content and not just being like, oh, okay, so we have a song, so we need a video, so let's just throw out anything. I just think everything
Yes.
should be perfect and exactly what I want. And so until I can find someone who's like really, really good that makes music videos that are so professional and so like concise and it's exactly the vision I'm going for, I kind of like halted on that part and just been like, let's just make the really good quality songs and then one day the music videos would kind of, follow suit to come. But Eve, is fresh. It's been out for 2 days. So honestly, if someone's out there and they're like, "Hey, I'll film it for you," I'm like, "Hey, let's do it," But
I love that.
playing right now. But maybe one day I would really, really love to do music videos and add like the visual side of things because I think when it comes to my Instagram and Twitter and things that I'm promoting, I definitely try to create the world through the photography. And so I think
Yes.
yeah, the video would be a really cool thing to just kind of see where we take it.
Yes, right. And especially the cover art for Eve. I think you with the apple on the hand, and on the beach. I mean, where did this inspiration come from? The idea to just, take an apple, obviously, because Adam of Eve, I can imagine a little bit, but then on the beach, what was the inspiration and how did you came up with this idea?
Yes, so the place that we shot the cover of Eve actually is called Fort Moultrie here in
Okay.
Charleston. A place called Fort Moultrie, and that's where I took her. I think like the very first like initial outing that we had together, um, on like a night walk there. And so I knew making this
Night
song.
walk.
Yeah, like I always, you know me.
I knew it.
I'm oh, I'm always up. So yeah, walk there, and so I knew when we were making the record, I was like, I need to make sure everything that I do is kind of like drawn inspiration from my own personal life. And this EP that I'm making is very personal for her, and it's something that I'm very excited about. And so when we were making the cover, and I worked with Noah Williams, he's my best friend, but he's also a photographer, incredible.
Yes.
I was like, I just want us to go like back out to Fort Moultrie during the day. Let's have a few like quick changes and let's just try different things. And I think it was his idea, like grab the apple and walk on the beach, just walk and let me like take some photos. And then turn, I love that photo. And so we're here with the cover of Eve. So it's a lot of fun. And so the EP cover also got shot on the same day, very different looks. And so it's all there. We've got it all already.
I love that. Yeah, the cover shot for Heartbreak Hotel was also shot by your best friend, like you said last time, right?
Yes, my best friend Will Williams. So they're twins. Will and Noah are twins.
Okay.
Will just like wants to do the next thing, and they're like, "Wait, he got it last time. Let me get it." So that's kind of what happens. But they're just the coolest and so creative and just so awesome to work with. I think it's very important for me to collaborate with people that I guess kind of see my vision, but also I can like see their vision, and we can collaborate and make it a thing. And so they're
Yes.
just every time I put out a song, I'm like, all right, guys, like, I'm gearing up for a new single. Like, someone please, like, what do you want to do? And coolest. So yes, we shot it out at Fort Moultrie, and the rest is kind of history. We just kind of kept shooting there and making different things.
I love that. And Kayshawn, tell me just in general, how did you spend your summer until now? We're in July now. Next month is August. So how did you spend your summer and everything next to music?
Oh my goodness, honestly, so I got a real job. I'm like a big boy now. This is crazy. Like to have a real job. So
Yes.
full time. But then when I'm not working, I'm with my girlfriend, and we're kind of like we go on these like Charleston strolls in the afternoon and the evenings, and we'll like walk around in the market. And I love the beach now. I used to not like the beach at all. I
Really?
love. I didn't. Not a fan of sand,
Oh,
but
okay.
I love sand, and I'm like, let's walk to the beach, take our shoes off, and just walk. And
Yes.
she blue, so now I love to go like walk and show them off. So yeah, so that's like a. But I've been doing that and just kind of hanging out with her and her family and going to visit my family back home. They're like 2 hours away, so it's not too bad. But yeah,
Hmm.
just and seeing them. But I definitely think I've kind of changed in terms of my social life. I used to be so like, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, and then I'm here, and then the next day, oh, sorry, I got to be here, and then I'm here. So
Yeah.
it's like
You're
a lot.
more flexible now.
Yes,
More chill. Yeah.
yeah, and now it's just kind of like hunkering down and being like, okay, I got my apartment, I've got my girlfriend, I've got my family, her family, I'm good, and everything kind of like it flows in, and just whenever anything else happens, it kind of happens. But
Yeah.
it's been a really good summer, very chill, feels very zen to put music
Yeah.
out.
I'm happy to hear that. Do not take the beach for granted. I haven't been to the beach for 2 years, I guess, because of COVID and everything got shut down. So I miss going to the beach.
No,
Yes,
I won't do it ever again. I love it now.
yes, that's amazing.
Thank you
And
so much.
Kayshawn, you graduated from college as well. What did you major in?
I majored in public health, and so I had no idea exactly what was going to happen after I graduated because I wanted to focus on hospital management. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get my master's and everything. I've kind of held off on that just so I can have like a second to breathe after 4 years of college. And I graduated top of my class, so I think like
Wow.
thank
Brains and beauty, beauty and brains.
you so much. It was just one of those things where I was like, oh, I've done this for 4 years. Let's take a break. I'm gonna work, make music, and then I'll go back and get my master's and maybe a doctorate one day. Who knows? But yeah, I graduated in public health, so it's been really, really cool. I'm so grateful that I got to, graduate in May and kind of just still walk at the cistern. Which just with COVID, everything was so different. We didn't know what was gonna happen, but I still got that traditional graduation of being like right in the heart of our college and getting
Yes.
years. And even though we were like socially distanced and spaced, it was still such a cool experience.
I love to hear that. And Kayshawn, tell me for people who might be, let's say, under pressure, because I mean, you've been in college, like you said, you graduated as the top of your class or the years that have been in there. Tell me, how would you, or what would your advice be for people who would love to make music, but at the same time, kind of, do it all together? You know what I mean? Going to school, maybe even bringing out a song or doing something that they love to do, and especially now during quarantine, like I said.
Absolutely. I think for me, what was important was taking the time and understanding that I'm juggling a lot here, and so it's all about only taking on what you can really take on. And so when it came to music, I was doing like maybe one song here and there, going to the studio kind of like sporadically when I could, but I never wanted to pressure myself to make it seem as though I'm doing music full time, working full time, college. I think it's all about a balance. And so I say, if you can, these days study up until you take the exam, get your A on that exam. When you have a break, you can kind of catch up on whatever homework you have, but also while you're just kind of catching up and kind of getting ahead, you go to the studio at the same time. And that's kind of like what I was doing, was kind of studying, getting the A and being like, oh, you did a great job. Now you can like reward yourself and go to the studio and like make a song. And so,
Yeah.
and I think it's just also just allowing yourself to be creative whenever you are. Sometimes I get, the weirdest like moments of creativity in the grocery store, and I have like my voice memos out, or my
Mhm.
like, what are you looking at? Like, I have like this gloss look, and it's just me in my head, and like a store, like we're in a clothes store, and I'm just like rearranging lines and things like that. So I
Yeah.
think it's about like finding a balance and just allowing yourself to be creative whenever it comes to you, instead of kind of, I don't know, sometimes it's harder to schedule everything. So just kind of, letting yourself flow and just, yeah, I would say find a balance. That's a good thing.
I love that.
Thank
For
you. Thank you.
everybody who's watching who might be struggling, I think this is going to help. Rewarding yourself with what you love doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was what was most important. I think it's also, for me, it was always about perspective. I'm in college. I need to make sure I'm finishing college. And so,
Mhm.
number one priority, but then also was music and just kind of making things that felt very authentic and very much like I needed to put it out. And so it was college, music, friends and things like that. But yeah, it's just about a balance. I think you just have to take the time to realize or kind of set a schedule for yourself. Today I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to give myself a little bit of a break so I can, be okay. Things like that.
Yeah. I think sometimes you also view it as a kind of side hustle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think that's really good to actually put it in that same phrase. It kind of was, music was my side hustle where
Mhm.
doing anything that was major, like college, I was running to the studio and like trying to make something because I'm always writing. So it was just kind of, oh, like I wrote this. Do you want to work on it? Finish it.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think it's just about doing something like that and kind of you can listen to people who are, wanting things and things like that. But I think sometimes there can be a lot of pressure to put something out so quickly when you're not ready to, or there's just no time when you're in college or something like that.
Right.
So it's just about like listening to yourself and saying, okay, I'm going to create this song, I'm going to write it, I'm going to go to the studio, then we're going to put it out whenever
Yeah.
I feel ready. And so Eve, naturally just came at a time that I felt so ready
Hmm.
and graduated college. And now I'm just kind of, I have so much more time to just work on music and just kind of live life and be at peace. And so it's really, really,
Yes.
it's very rewarding.
Yeah. I'm in college myself, and kind of bringing everything together with, doing the show, doing interviews, and going to college, it can be stressful.
Yes.
Sometimes I would love to do so much more interviews, but I don't really have the time to, and that could kind of freak me out a little bit. But I'm still doing it because I love it.
I know, absolutely. That's what it's about. It's about the heart and the passion for whatever you're doing in the art. And you're doing such an incredible job. I mean, oh my goodness,
Thank
you got
you.
interview. So you're doing thing. I love it.
I love that. Thank you, Kayshawn. And
Of
by
course.
the way, talking about music again, how long did it take to produce Eve and everything in the studio?
Yes. So we made Eve in I think 2 sessions. So sometimes when I create a song, I might write a little bit at home. So we wrote the hook. I wrote that at
Okay.
home, brought it in, and I wrote the rest in the studio. But we kind
Yes.
of So the first studio session, I think we had like maybe a minute and a half of the song. I didn't touch it. I just kind of kept playing it on repeat, and then I was like, okay, when I go back to the studio, do I want to have everything written out? And so that's exactly what I did. I kind of like on my own went on a walk, and I just wrote the verse two, and yeah, we just put it in there because I think we had everything but the second verse, and then I was like, what am I gonna like? Where am I gonna take it? Is it gonna be like a full verse, half verse, everything like
Hmm.
that? So I basically wrote it in 2 sessions.
Okay,
And
wait. You're telling me you wrote the whole song just by meeting your producer two times in two
yes,
sessions?
yes.
No way. Really?
Some songs, it's so crazy how life works and just how creativity works because sometimes it takes me hours upon hours and days and like being like, I don't know what to write, put it down, maybe try again.
Okay.
Eve happened so quickly. It was just like, oh my goodness. I like the lines just kept flowing, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. And one thing I want people to know is that every single line in the song is very personal and very much like our own life. Every single line you hear is something that we did or experienced together, and I wanted to put it into one song. So it's just like line after line of like, this is personal. This is personal. Cheers to love and affection. That was something like we had a cheers, and she said that. I was like, I'm putting that in the song. Like
Hmm.
such a quick experience, and I'm kind of glad and proud of myself for putting it together so quickly with the lyrics.
Yes. Tell me, how long did you take for Save Your Love and Heartbreak Hotel in comparison to Eve?
Oh my goodness, Heartbreak Hotel I feel like took me maybe like that was over the course of a few days because I had the hook kind of like the Heartbreak Hotel part of the chorus for a few
Hmm.
days. I kept like changing it from Heartbreak Hotel to Heartbreak Motel, and then it was something. And then I like sat back down and I think in like 2.5 hours, three, I like wrote the rest of the song. And then from there it was kind of like a long journey of recording, taking a song down, going back during COVID and having to like drive in the middle of the night to go re-record and be all safe in the studio. Um, so that was a very long process. I think Save Your Love that took months actually because we had an idea and we wrote I think the pre-chorus and a little bit of the chorus maybe, and that was in like November of I think 2017. And then we didn't even like pick Save Your Love back up until the summer, like July basically. And I
Okay.
remember, hey, like there's something there like we got to finish this song, biggest song yet. So it's really really nice.
Yes. And it's funny how you can play with the titles, Heartbreak Hotel, Motel, Heartbreak Residency.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, there's so many opportunities. But I think
Absolutely.
yeah, with the songs that are like more personal, Heartbreak Hotel, and I think even Eve especially now because you've been through all of that. I think it's I think that is the reason why sometimes you can do it or produce it even faster, because you came up with the ideas because you lived it through kind of.
Absolutely. I definitely think it's just sometimes when you live life, things just kind of happen and come more, I guess, quickly. And so, yeah, writing Eve was very, very fast. I think I just have the best muse in the world. She's in the kitchen now. She's like trying to be all quiet.
Really? She can say hi. She doesn't have to be shy.
I'll say hi. Hello, how are you?
Hi! You're the Eve that everyone's talking about.
It's crazy. I was just behind him trying to quietly boil some water.
No, don't be shy. I'm glad that you're on the show. You guys are cute. You're adorable.
Thank you so much. Yeah, she's
I don't
like,
want to be too. Yeah, that's nice that she hopped on the show. I'm happy to see her.
yeah, she was, I think she was taking a shower and everything.
Yes.
Late start. We're all getting our late starts.
It's a really good background.
I don't want to be the all too embarrassing mom over here. I'm third wheeling, so.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Okay, Kayshawn, the last time you were also on the show, I remember you said that you were working on Almost Famous, the single.
Oh
Was
my
that
god.
something you're also working on now, like while producing Eve, working on something else as well in the studio?
So I think the last time we talked, oh my goodness, that's crazy that you brought that up. So much has changed, and definitely I think I was making that single, and then all of a sudden it was just, oh, we got to switch, we got to pivot, and so much has happened. So we're not making Almost Famous, but I am making so many different songs at once, where it's kind of like, oh, I have a little bit of this song, and then I have a little bit of this song, and so it's just been really, really good. But Almost Famous anymore, but we have a few new ones that I'm very excited about. So I think it'll be
Oh,
good.
really?
Yes, I mean, even
Oh, wow.
song is one of my favorites in terms of all of the songs I made. But there's
Mm-hmm.
one I really, really love that I think it has to just be on the EP. I can't put it out as a single.
Okay.
It's one of my favorites. I'm really grateful for writing that one and just proud that we kind of put it together. But there's one. It's called, I'll just give you the title. It's called Shades of You. Shades of You.
Shades of You?
Yes, and I'm
Oh. Oh, you
excited.
have a good title. For everybody that might be watching, I'm so excited. Shades of You. Is there also something you want to give a little bit the inspiration or
For Shades of You,
yes?
also Eve. So basically, this entire
Oh.
is gonna be just kind of about Eve and just kind of making songs about how she makes me feel and just how in love I am with her. And so Shades of You kind of happened more organically, where I was in the studio one day and I was like, I want to come up with the thing of kind of where I was before her and where I am now that I'm with her. And so
Nice
it was
transition.
shades of blue to shades of you. And
Wow.
so that's all I'm gonna say about it. But
Okay.
favorite, I think, so far. We have one more to write, but I'm very excited for it.
Okay. Did you already announce the name of the EP?
I have not yet, but it's
Okay.
there. It is out there. There's an Easter egg somewhere online.
Ah.
Go look for some lyrics online. I put the project name. It's on there. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh.
Some people probably have already seen it if they've been looking up the lyrics to Eve, but it's online.
Okay. Seems like we have a quiz game for the audience this time.
Mm, I love it.
Yes. And Kayshawn, tell me, I really want to know what about marketing yourself as an artist nowadays, especially during this time, this hard time where people cannot go out and perform like they did before. So, what would your advice be, or what are you doing yourself to gain more listeners, especially?
Oh my goodness. It's crazy that you bring that up. I think this time around, even with social media, it's always changing. And so algorithms, oh my goodness, that is the worst thing.
Yes.
Algorithms sometimes can be your friend and then sometimes be your like worst enemy. And so when it came to Eve, I think Instagram is doing a thing right now when it comes to like Reels and Instagram TV, and they're trying to compete with TikTok. So
Uh-huh.
I think they really are prioritizing people who are making the Reels and making things that look like TikTok. And so here I was
Yes.
putting those, and my content wasn't reaching people as it usually does. And so I'm like, oh
Mm-hmm.
my, I'm putting out a song. It's 5 days away, and I can't reach the audience that I normally do. Um, I started just kind of going with it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make more videos, post that to Instagram and snippets, and then taking the snippets and using TikTok and things that I know kids are on. And so I think that
Yes.
I think it's just important not to get so discouraged when that happens, when you're just like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, people, because you just never know. Like
Yeah.
I think it's that this happened, and then all of a sudden, this is my biggest like first day when it comes to a song. Bless you. But it's that
Bless
was
you.
easy. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's just important when it comes to marketing. Now I'm just kind of trying to find different ways and doing interviews and kind of finding different playlists that I can add the song to. And I don't know, I think it's going to be very important that I kind of sit down and continue to strategize like ways to get it out there.
Yes. I think there are so many talented people in this world, newcomers and people who are trying to be seen and heard nowadays, but it is hard. I have to say that. And this is, I have to say, the show that I created, I wanted to have people on here as a kind of, as a family that grows, and to see people, newcomers who are talented, but who really kind of still need support to get it out there, because I think there are talented people who have the potential, but they aren't really seen or heard.
Absolutely, and I think that's what's so it's so crazy is just that we have so many amazing and talented people in the world, and they're just not heard or seen. And I just really wish people get the time that they deserve, because there's just so many different creative people that have yet to be seen and heard. That I'm like, oh my goodness, that maybe I know, or I've like heard them a little bit. I'm like, no, like I want your stuff out, and
Mm-hmm.
about timing and just kind of being consistent and just working on you find your brand and you find what makes you feel confident and powerful as an artist, and so that's kind of what you lead with. And so I think that's
Yeah.
what's important.
I love that. You know what? If there's any artist or everybody who might be watching, and if there's anyone you think that should be on the show, just, send me a message. I would be incredible. It would be really huge to just talk to them. I love
Absolutely.
supporting people. I mean, supporting each other is so important, and people take that for granted.
Yes, absolutely. So definitely I will send you whoever I can find.
Do that. Kayshawn, by the way, are you working on anything else? I mean, you said you're working on new music, an EP that is coming out really, really soon. But is there something else as well? Maybe merch or everything? Something else?
So right now I'm making the music, and then I'm thinking, kind of looking into making music videos. So I'm going to be looking really, really hard to find someone who can make a music video.
Yes.
In terms of merch, I haven't had anything yet, but I mean, there's talks. I've been trying to look back into talking to a few different companies who maybe can make something happen, and we
Mm-hmm.
can photos from the EP or something like that and make some merch. So fingers crossed. Nothing I can give out.
Yes.
A lot of different ideas that I'm really excited about, and hopefully something kind of sticks and people get new merch or a music video, something.
Yeah, I would love that. We would all love that, to see a music video. That would be really cool.
Thank you so much.
By the way, Kayshawn, are you still located in Charleston since you moved into an apartment?
Yes, I am. I'm still here. So it just kind of happened where I didn't have to go all the way back home. I got to stay in like one of my favorite places.
Ah, okay.
Oh, it's just great. Every day I wake up and I'm like, oh, let's go on a stroll. Let's go downtown, and like
Mm-hmm.
it means the
Yes.
world to stay in the place where I'm always kind of creative and always get to be. I think making music. And so I said it the other day. I was like, oh my goodness, like all of my songs were basically, I think, created in Charleston. So
Mm-hmm.
to kind of continue that and to just stay here and make the music. So I'm
I
very.
Okay. And is it sunny in Charleston right now?
Yes, it's like all blue sky. I think we might go to the beach.
Really? Yeah, it is sunny here as well. It has been raining the whole week, but I feel like the sun just came out for you, because we're like.
Thank you so much. Honestly, I love the sunlight. I love a good sunny day, so I'm very excited.
Same. Kayshawn, I love that. I'm so glad to have you on the show again, and I'm so happy to even, get to talk to Eve for a few seconds, say bye to her, and I'm so happy to have you on here. Maybe hop on the show as well the next time when the new EP comes out.
Absolutely, that would be incredible. I think she'd do it.
Yes. Okay. I love that. Kayshawn, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you just for the
By the way,
opportunity.
I love your head.
Thank you. This is Eve. Face bucket hat. That bucket hats are definitely
Oh,
the whole brand of this EP.
yes. Okay. See you next time, Kayshawn. Love to talk to you.
Thank you so much. So
Bye.
good. Talk to you soon.
Alright, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked this video, make sure to like, share it, and subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow my social medias. Mwah.